Ton, it's the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Say it. Hallelujah. 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 Folks, it's time for liftoff.
10,
Let's go.
9,
Let's go.
8, 7,
Ooh,
6,
we've got a
5,
lot to do
4,
today, folks,
3,
so buckle up.
2, 1.
Come on, I need
0.
all your energy.
Ignition.
Give it to me. Get on up, baby. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Like a sex machine. Let's do this like we never knew this.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
All right. Welcome aboard. It's great to have you with us. Thank you for joining us here on the show with no name on Vaughn Radio, and a shout out to all our amazing show with no namers all around the world. You guys rock. I am such a lucky dude. I'm so fortunate. Más fácil lucky que fortunate, ¿no? Bueno, pero si dices Lukey Luke, ya no. I remember the first time somebody told me that. Lukey Luke. I'm like, hooty who? Hooty wah? Hooty what? Lukey Luke. I'm telling you, my jaw dropped. Se me cayó la mandíbula. Jaw, you know that word? Have you seen the movie Tiburón? Or as my daughter says, Tiguron? In English, it's called Jaws. Mandíbulas. Isn't that awesome? We learn from music, movies, pop culture, and everything around us. And we learn real English here on the show with no name. None of that fake stuff. None of that classroom English. No. I'm not preparing you for an exam. I'm preparing you for the real world. Well, it's true. You know, being out there in the real world, folks. ¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana en inglés y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y si aprovechas, hay una oferta este sábado que viene en NH Las Tablas por solo 850 euros. Vive la experiencia. Weekend Town de Vaughan. More information on our website, grupovaughn.com, and make sure you're following along on social media. Also, folks, let me remind you of this week's question of the week. Question of the week. A nice round of applause to everybody who has participated already. You know who you are. Great job. I'll just say a few off the top of my head, but we already, off the top of my head, a bote pronto, off the top of my head, apúntate esas, es bastante común. And just off the top of my head, Laura, Chris Valrol, another Cristina, Nuria, Anix, Kubla, and Laura, of course. You've all participated in this week's question of the week. If you guys haven't participated, I don't know why. It's really an amazing opportunity, and you shouldn't, I'm telling you, you shouldn't sit on this, guys. It's an opportunity to speak in English every week and to be on the radio, which is kind of crazy. And I can help you. So we're doing two things here. You're working on speaking, which that's the only way to get better. I've had people say, Alberto, how do I improve my speaking? And you want the short answer? Speaking. Yeah. How do I improve my comprehension? Listening. The more you listen, the more you understand. The more you speak, the more comfortable you feel speaking. I wish I could give you some, big, elaborate answer, but it's that simple. And you guys have a chance to speak aloud every single week here on the question of the week. So I look forward to hearing from you. The rest of the students look forward to hearing from you as well. And we can learn together. We can learn about you. And also, as always, I can make little adjustments. I can help you out with your English, how you put things together, vocabulary, pronunciation, and things that I could never help you with before. So how do you participate? Real simple. Send a 1-minute voice message. You can send it to my email address. It's aalonso@grupovon.com, aalonso@grupovon.com. And I highly recommend you guys participate. Really, it's the opportunity of a lifetime, because the biggest complaint I hear year after year, day after day, is I don't have a chance to use my English. Well, now you do. So tell us this on this week's question of the week. Are you an introvert? If you are an introvert, this will be even harder for you. But that's even more reason to do it. So are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Or are you an ambivert? And explain your answer. All right? And of course, introduce yourself. And if you'd like to say something special, please do. All right, amigos, time for today's pop quiz. Come on now. Get up, get up, get up. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, folks, welcome to our pop quiz over here on today's show. As always, we look at a wide range of different things, from phrasal verbs to pronunciation things to simple, basic stuff you should know to really complicated structures. What are we going to look at today? We're going to look at some business English. And I think that's good for everybody. Even if you're not in the business world, it's good to know the basics. And we keep going back to that theme, but it's true. It's so true. That's my theme for the year. Back to basics. I urge you, I urge you to join me. Let's go back to basics. Do you mean business? ¿Vais en serio? Well, then listen to this little audio clip, and I've got a job for you right afterwards. So if everybody's ready, this is from Business English. It's an amazing material at the Von Tienda, and it's written by none other than my good friend Kyle Miller, the host of the very popular show Drive Time, which if you're not listening to Drive Time, you're missing out. If you don't have this book and you're in the business world, you're missing out. Here's a little clip.
Negotiations Translation List 5.
Se ha roto la negociación.
The negotiation broke down.
¿Cuáles son los factores de éxito en la negociación?
What are the factors for a successful negotiation?
Tenemos una negociación en grupo.
We have a group negotiation.
Negocié mucho durante la comida de trabajo.
I negotiated a lot during the business lunch.
Es alguien que sabe los detalles de cortesía.
He's somebody who's really detailed about politeness.
Trabaja mucho con negociaciones internacionales.
He deals with a lot of international negotiations.
Conoce bien el protocolo para una situación así.
He really knows the protocol for such a situation.
Es un buen negociador.
He's a good negotiator.
Contempla la negociación como si fuera un desafío.
Think of the negotiation as if it were a challenge.
Presenta tu oferta con claridad.
Present your offer clearly.
¿Has conseguido captar el interés de la otra parte?
Did you manage to capture the other party's interest?
Exprésate con convicción.
Show conviction.
Sabe convencer a la gente.
He knows how to convince people.
¿Sabes leer el lenguaje no verbal?
Do you know how to read non-verbal language?
Busco una solución racional.
I'm looking for a rational solution.
No creo que la otra parte sea de fiar.
I don't think the other side is trustworthy.
¿Tienen de verdad la intención de firmar un acuerdo?
Are they really planning to sign an agreement?
¿Cuáles piensas que son sus intenciones?
What do you think are their intentions?
Tiene mucha habilidad para romper el hielo.
He's really good at breaking the ice.
Quiero crear una atmósfera de confianza.
I want to create a setting with trust.
Confío en ti.
I trust you.
Ellos no han mostrado ninguna deferencia hacia nosotros.
They haven't shown any respect towards us.
No comprenden nuestra posición.
They don't understand our position.
Mira, no busco engañar a nadie.
I'm not looking to cheat anyone.
No dejo nada al azar.
I don't leave anything to chance.
All right, there you go, folks. Some interesting vocabulary in there. Awesome stuff. If you don't have the book,
It's great because it comes with audio, it comes with video, and it's written by my great friend Kyle. He has an MBA, and he literally, I mean, not just has an MBA, but he's just an amazing communicator, an amazing teacher, and a great person. And he puts all his experience into this resource. It's called Business English. It's under $20 and it's available at the Vaughn Tienda. It's got over 3 hours of audio. It's also got some video in there. I don't know if anybody can find it and share it in the group, but there's a series of videos that you can get from the book. And I'm, for some reason, Kyle asked me to be the bad employee, the example of what not to do. But I will say we had a blast. We really had a great time doing those videos. So if you can find those, send them to the group. I think the other students will find them very funny as well and useful, because then Kyle shows you what you should do, the correct way to do it, the more formal way to do it. So if you mean business, pick up Business English by Kyle Miller. It is awesome. It's like getting an MBA with Kyle Miller, and he's teaching you not just the ins and outs of business, but also the ins and outs of English. And I think it really is an amazing, complete material. So pick up your copy at the Vaughn Tienda. All right, let's take a look at it, what we've got. I've got a couple challenges, 3 to be exact, and I want you guys to give them to me in our pop quiz. Now, the first one is tratar con. Really, really important in business porque tenemos que tratar con gente. Siempre. Tratar con cosas, right? So, tratar con problemas, right? So we need to know this verb, all right? So, but what I want you to do, I just want to make sure you know it, is I want you to use that verb in the past tense. Use it in an example where you would really use it. Use it in the past tense. Traté con ellos. Traté con mucha gente. Whatever. That's up to you. The second one, Kyle said the word convince. And great, convince we use a lot. But I want you to use a phrasal verb that we've looked at here on the show before. And I want you to use that phrasal verb, me convenciste or no le conven. Again, what's the best example? Your example. Use it. Think about cómo usaría yo esta expresión. So the first one, traté con. The second one is convencer a, using them in context. And the third one, I'm adding because it popped into my mind, and I want to see if you guys know this expression. So this is an expression we use. I'm looking for an expression that means that you are a tough negotiator, okay? An expression that means you really, like, you're not the kind of person that anybody wants to negotiate with because you get your way. Te sales con la tuya, another great expression. So how would you tell somebody, tú sí que sabes regatear, no negociar, no puedo contigo. So how would you say that idiomatic expression? We'll take a look at those 3. Hopefully our show with no namers will be able to come up with some. Also, while you're thinking that through, to think through is darle vueltas. While you're thinking it through, I just want to remind you, there's a new FYI episode on dictators.
These power-hungry people have preyed on their own population in many cases. They are unelected tyrants who ran rigorous regimes where dissent was met with torture and even death. As a society, the same question keeps coming back to haunt us. How did these so-called cults of personalities perpetrate terror, pain, and suffering for so long?
My fellow citizens who are working to make America great, I salute the Italians of America who unite in a single love our two nations.
We'll delve into dictators on this week's episode of FYI.
Welcome to For Your Info.
English.
You got it. Thanks, Nacho. Well, thanks, Nacho and Augusto. Yeah, Nacho did the voice. He also edited it. También lo editó Nacho. So if you like the intro, then you love Augusto. It's his song. His group is De Piel y Hueso, and the song is called Souvenir. And Nacho did the voice and then put it all together. So if you like that, thanks to Nacho and Augusto for their awesome contributions to FYI. All right, amigos, let's see what you guys came up with. We're going to go on over to our group here, our virtual online classroom, where our students are motivated as always. Good morning, show with no namers, or good afternoon, good evening. We've got listeners on every continent. And how do I know that? Well, I can see it on FYI because I look at all the statistics. But I know it because I have gotten emails or private messages from people on every continent. And FYI is charting. Esto es buen verbo. To chart es estar en las listas. You can say it's on the charts, pero creo que es más fácil decir it's charting in Ireland and Argentina. And that is, man, two countries I'm dying to visit. Isn't that awesome? Because in Spain, you're like, okay, wow, it's amazing. We're on the charts in Spain. Well, that's where the show's produced. It's a Spanish show. Even though I'm Spanish and American, the show is produced in Spain, right? So when I started seeing, Argentina and then Ireland, I said, wow, that is amazing. It really is fantastic that everybody who's listening right now, you have something in common, not just with your neighbor in Spain or in Europe, but you have something in common with somebody who's in Asia. We've gotten lots of emails and communications from people from Asia. And again, those are places, Argentina, I've never been there. I am dying to go there. So just knowing that I have listeners there and that maybe I'll even be able to have a quilmes with them and then asadito. Oh, God, here I go talking about food again. I already had breakfast, or I have to admit, I had breakfast like 4 hours ago. Well, I've been up since 6 and I had a class at 7. So I had an early breakfast this morning. Oh, man. I'm so, la expresión. Let's see if you know it. I'm so hungry, I could eat a... Esto es frase hecha, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. All right. Wow. We've looked at a lot of totally native expressions so far. Well, before we check in with our group, I just realized we have to go to a quick commercial break, amigos. I can't believe it. We've already flown through the first part of the show, and we've got so much to do. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to laugh. We're going to sing. We're going to play. We're going to learn cool, totally native expressions. And we're going to share. Speaking of sharing, now's a good time during the commercial break to think about what you want to say in the question of the week, right? I'll give you a couple minutes and think about it. Are you an introvert, an extrovert, or a new word for me, but in context it makes sense, an ambivert and explain your answer. You can send me a message. You can send me a message to alonso@grupovon.com. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of the show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. It's time for part 2. We've got a lot of people participating in our group, and we'll be hearing from you guys in just a moment. Remember to stop by our website. It is grupovon.com. You can find out about all the special deals going on right now. In fact, if you take advantage of our opening weekend of Weekend Town, it's at NH Las Tablas, you can get a special deal right now. But while supplies last, mientras quedan suministro, ¿no? First come, first serve. These are marketing expressions. And we're going to look at a lot of business expressions. Well, we already have in Kyle's book, Business English. And we mean business. Vamos en serio aquí. But not too much. I mean, we mean business, but not, we're not going to drive ourselves crazy either. Fun first. La diversión por delante. All right, amigos, let's take a look at today's Say What soundbite. Say what? You like those, that remix over there? The fart remix. Yo, cut the cheese, cut the cheese. Tirarse un pedo. Cut the cheese, cut the cheese. I'm tootin'. Toot. I'm passing gas. He's gonna pass some gas. Cut the cheese. Did you ever think you'd hear a song about farts? This is the show with no name. You can expect the unexpected, folks. That's my maturity level here. Didn't I say we mean business? Que vamos en serio? Well, forget it. Even though we're going to learn some business idioms today. All right, amigos, let's take a look at today's Say What soundbite. This is a very famous person, but you might not recognize his voice, but he is super famous. And as always, I want your opinion. Initially, I want you to tell me what you heard in your best English, okay? By the end of the show, I want you to tell me everything this person says. Again, I think it'll be pretty easy, honestly, today. So here we go. I don't think anybody got yesterday's Say What soundbite. So let's really pay attention and see if we can figure it out today. Here we go. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
This is a proud day. Now, when people ask if we're in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1975, I can say we are closer than ever before.
All right. All right. Either way, I'm going to give it to you in just a moment. But this one's pretty short today, so I think many people will be able to figure it out, hopefully. All right. Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
This is a proud day. Now, when people ask if we're in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1975, I can say we are closer than ever before.
All right, and I'm going to give you guys a little clue as well. Never before has there been a series that has run for so many seasons. This crazy cartoon family is adored by audiences everywhere, even after decades on the air. This illustrated institution has even predicted current events in pop culture with laser precision.
But
Don't have a cow, man.
however you slice it or dice it, it seems these lovable yellow yahoos are here to stay.
Excellent.
We'll stop by Springfield and visit on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info, English. You got it. Don't have a cow, man. Tranquilízate. Excellent, Smithers. Excellent. If you haven't listened to those episodes of FYI, you are in for a treat. Te espera una sorpresa. Well, The Simpsons, it's just a fun topic, isn't it? All right, let's go on over to our chat room and see who's on board and ready to rock. I see so many students here. Now, we've got a lot of fronts open right now. Let's see. We've got our Say What soundbite. We've got our pop quiz. All right, we're good. We've got our pop quiz and our Say What soundbite. Let's see who's in the house. Born to Iron Man, he says, morning, friends. Morning to you, good buddy. Maria Jose, there she is. Lovely Maria Jose. She says, good morning, folks. Good morning to you, too. Let's see. Chris Valrol. Oh, nice. Chris Valrol, good morning. She says morning, and she's participating in today's pop quiz. She says, I had to deal with that creepy guy. Tuve que tratar con ese tío que da repelús. All right, it's correct, but what I wanted to see was the verb to deal in pasado. Aunque es had to es pasado, o sea. But it's correct. Tuve que tratar con, to deal with. Also, a deal es un chollo. A dealer can be un concesionario, a car dealer, or a drug dealer, un camello. I love that you call it a camel. That's funny. So I had to deal with, also a dealer can be croupier at a casino as well. It's a really rich word. It's deal, dealt. Te lo digo por qué. Because in a logical world, that word would be pronounced dealt. ¿Por qué? Porque si deal, D-E-A-L, le añades una T, ¿no debería ser dealt? Well, this is English. That's why I'm telling you. Entonces, vamos a apuntar esta palabra. Let's write it down. Let's write deal, dealt. Y quiero que taches la A en la segunda y tercera columna. Así en tu cabeza no ves dealt o dealt, ves dealt. Como delta. Vamos a escucharlo junto. I dealt with customer service at Delta. Okay? I was dealt a bad hand. Esta es una expresión. Me tocaron cartas malas. Me repartieron a hand of cards. So, great, folks. We're learning with casinos. Let's see. The second one. Chris says he couldn't buy all employees into the idea. All right, I'll take it. To buy them in. And she says, sorry, I couldn't write down the third one. No worries, Chris. Wonderful effort and great job. Welcome aboard. Born to Iron Man says, we take for granted. This means we don't appreciate it enough. We take for granted that a CEO, acuérdate en inglés, otro business mistake. We don't say feo. CEO, las letras. We take for granted that a CEO deals with, nadie quiere usarlo en pasado, ya veo, deals with many different kinds of people, con una S, in a company. All right. And last year, she dealt with a lot of people. The CEO of Vaughn is a woman. A shout out to Virginia. What's up, Virginia? I'm sure she's not tuned in right now because she's probably busy dealing with people. Speaking of, so great example. Born to Iron Man. Wonderful job. Let's see the second one. Sure, you have to talk them into the core business. As a good negotiator, you can't leave anything to chance. Great. Now, the good negotiator is right, but it's literal. I'm looking for an idiomatic expression, but wonderful job nonetheless. Now, to talk apúntate esta, porque es muy fácil asimilarlo, okay?
So if you're going to do something positive, you're saying, Alberto, you know what? I'm going to take up Tai Chi. Voy a empezar a hacer Tai Chi. Yoga, fill in the blank, whatever. CrossFit, right? You know what I'm going to do? I'd say, you know what? I think that's a great idea. I'm going to talk you into it, right? You should do it. I think you should. I think it's great. Now, if you tell me, you know what? I think I'm going to start smoking and drinking like a fish. You know, I don't give a shit anymore. And I would try and talk you out of that and say, don't do that. So just think of it that way. You know, if you want somebody to take action, you're talking them into it. If you don't want them to take action, you're talking them out of it. Great, great. And Born to Iron Man, I love that expression. To leave it to chance. Veremos lo que pasa. Great expression. Chris Valrol says, poor thing. Oh, no, I didn't say it because I want any pity. I'm used to it. I naturally get up at 6. I don't set an alarm like my grandfather Alberto. He would get up naturally at 6, or I don't know what time. I don't remember now. But it's about your circadian rhythm, right? Your body clock. So she says, you no longer remember your breakfast. Yeah, it's true. It seems that happened to me yesterday, too. I was thinking of something I did in the morning, and I'm like, was that today or was that yesterday? Oh, wow. That meant I had a really long day yesterday. Today, the good news is it's not as long. And she says, when you get up at the crack of dawn, the morning can be really long. Yeah, and I don't mind that part, Chris. My biggest problem is, you know, getting up so early. What happens around 8 p.m., 9 p.m.? Your circadian rhythm, your body starts telling you, we're done. Your brain starts turning off. So, you know, if my wife wants to have a serious heart-to-heart, esto es buena expresión, la teníamos que haber visto ayer en Valentine's Day. A heart-to-heart es una conversación como profunda. At like 10 p.m., I'm like, So, you know, and a friend of mine said it the other day. He said, you know, I don't know what it is, but every day around 8 o'clock, I'm dead. I'm really KO. And I said, well, what time do you wake up? And he said, well, around 5:30, 6. I said, well, think about it. Many people wake up around 7:30, 8. So you're adding 3 hours to your day, and they go to sleep at 10:30, 11. So do the math. And the person was, his jaw dropped. He was like, you're absolutely, he thought he had a problem. He's like, maybe I'm crazy. You know, at 8 p.m., I'm tired. Well, if you wake up at 5:30 or 6 in the morning, that's a normal time to be tired. Or at least to start winding down. Creo que el efecto sonido que se acaba de hacer explica perfectamente el winding down. All right, let's see. And great expression, Chris, at the crack of dawn. Great, great, great. All right, let's see. Maria Jose is participating in our pop quiz. She says, I dealt with Maria Jose. Just for paying attention there. I dealt with, acordaos, no se dice dealt. I dealt with a lot of people when I was working in a big company. That's normal, right? Companies can be even overwhelming because there are so many people on board. And then you've got to talk to corporate. Oh, man, it can be quite overwhelming. Abrumador. Perfect. Great, Maria Jose. Let's see. The second one. I even tried to talk them. Okay, so careful. Tienes la estructura, pero por eso justo estamos usándolo en contexto. So great, Maria Jose. She says, I even tried to talk into them. I even tried to talk them into ING. So I talked him into coming. Le convencí que viniera. Okay, eso es la estructura con el gerundio. So I even tried to talk them into concerning the new projects. Okay, so te lo voy a cambiar. To talk them into improving the standards concerning the new projects. So nothing was left to chance. All right. Couple little adjustments there. Unos ajustes nada más. Real simple. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man. talking to us about today's Say What soundbite. Let's see what he heard. He says it sounds like a bizarre anchorman conveying a message about disabilities, referring to 1975. And he thinks they're closer than ever before. And he thinks they're closer than ever before. All right, yeah, that's spot on, except for that G for the K. I got you. Good job, Born to Iron Man. Chris Valrol, she says, I heard a presenter, un presentador, from a well-known cartoon. Yeah, I think my clue might have given it away a little bit. A lo mejor lo ha soplado un poco mi pista. I don't know, maybe. So from a well-known cartoon, I guess he's introducing a variety show, presentando un programa magazine. The guy speaks a mile a minute, but I could get disabilities 1975, and they are closer than never before. All right, good. Chris, you got some key information there. Wonderful job. Fantastic. All right. Oh, and I forgot to give you guys the third one. Nobody got the expression I was looking for, but remember, it's... What am I teaching you here? Real English, right? All right, so let's say we're negotiating and you win, but not really on my terms. I evidently lost the negotiation. So you say, we're going to do it this way. I say, no, we're going to do it this way. And finally, you're like, no, we're going to do it this way. And you're going to... I walk away from the negotiation, losing with the short end of the stick, otra expresión, right? Como yo perdí más en esa negociación. I would say you drive a hard bargain. So to bargain is regatear. And if you tell somebody you drive a hard bargain, it means, oh man, you win. It's tough to negotiate with you. Right? A lot of times we say it jokingly as well. Like somebody's convincing you to, all right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you to dinner and a movie tonight and you need to relax. Oh, you drive a hard bargain. Negocias muy bien. No, como, pues me has ganado ahí. Regateado. So, wonderful job, my amigos. As always. But now it's time to move on to a very challenging section, perhaps the most challenging section, and I think you know it. It's our Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. All right, amigos, it's our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name, and this is round one. These are people's names, and good luck, because I am going to be ruthless, despiadado. I'm going to be ruthless in this one, and we'll see if you guys can figure it out. All right, here is round one of today's Spelling Bee. Let's set the tone a little bit. Let's get it going there. All right. The first one is TED space BUNDY. The second one is PEDRO space LOPEZ. The third one is H period space HOLMES. The fourth one is JOHN space WAYNE space GACY. The fifth one
is HAROLD space SHIPMAN. And the last one is JACK space RIPPER, amigos. Sadly, both clever and clumsy killers have always lived among us. Could it be a neighbor, a family member, a coworker? Are they capable of committing such a chilling crime? What drives deranged people to do away with someone and then do it over and over again? We're going to find out what goes on in the mad mind of a murderer. Join me as we sniff out serial killers on today's FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. All right. So for some reason, I just played the intro to the FYI episode on serial killers, asesinos de cereales. Bueno, se pronuncia igual. There's a homophone on the show with no name, but it's not time for homophones yet. We're in our spelling bee. This is round one, and let's see. We've got somebody taking a stab at it. It's Born to Iron Man. He's a killer. Speaking of killers, let's see how he did. The first one is correct, buddy. The second one is also correct. The third one is also correct. That's the one that got me worried there. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one's correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Wonderful job. Unbelievable. Born to Iron Man. Oh, and Chris Valrol as well. Fantastic job. Super show with no namers. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do round two. This is for the general public. This is for me. I wouldn't get it on the first go in Spanish or in English. Here we go. The first serial killer is TED space BUNDY. The second one, PEDRO space LOPEZ. The third one is H period space HOLMES. The fourth one is JOHN space WAYNE space GACY. The fifth one, HAROLD space SHIPMAN. And the sixth and final one is JACK space RIPPER. Folks, that's round two of our spelling bee over there. I can't believe we are halfway through the show. We still have a lot of stuff to do. We've got movies, we've got music, and many more challenges up ahead. You're not going to want to miss the second half of today's show as we take our English to new heights. We'll also take a look at serial killers, and obviously, today's show has something to do with The Simpsons. As you all know, by the end of the show, it'll all come together quite nicely. Hey, just like a crime that has to be solved in one of those Netflix crime documentaries. Hey, that's a great way to learn this killer vocabulary. Yeah, you know, I'm going to use that a lot of times in today's show. It reminds me of Rob Graham's The Pro Bow Show and The Lunchtime Show. Rob Graham's. He says, "You're killing it, man. You're killing it." That means you're doing a great job. But of course, if you translate it to Spanish, lo estás matando, lo estás destrozando, it's not a good thing. When things can't be translated literally. Folks, we'll be right back
with the rest of the show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the third part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. You can start your day with Richard Vaughn Live. You've also got the Pro Bow Show, where you'll get real natural English and a lot of fun, real stuff with Rob Grams. A man who wears many hats. You've also got Fitz and his program, No Excuses, the ideal way to get ready for this program. All of these are available on the Vaughn Radio app. If you don't have it, you got to get it. It's Vaughn Radio. Also, after this show, you've got Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. And mark your calendars. I think it's official. If not, don't shoot the messenger. But let me give you the date as far as I know. Unless there's something that barred some. Either way, confirm this with Ximena. Right after today's show, you can participate with her on Twitter. But if I'm not mistaken, she's going to be hosting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night on March 6th with Nacho. What? Yeah. That's awesome. What a duo. What a duo, amigos. I gotta say, you'll be able to check them out on March 6th. Again, check with them just to make sure. But the last I heard, that's what's going on. And if that's the case, I'll be there with bells on. Con muchas ganas. All right, folks, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. Let's take a look at the words I've got for you today. Today, the first word is, are you ready for this? The first word is ¿por qué? Pero en plural. No quiero oír por qué es, ni qué es. Right? So, si tuvieras que decir la palabra por qué en inglés en plural, okay? So, no quiero oír porqués. Deja de porqués. Okay, vivimos en un mundo de porqués. Okay, that's the first word. The second word is a great word. I love this word. And remember, I don't just want to know what these words are. I want to know if they sound the same or not. The second word is somebody who is knowing, right? Somebody who is sabio in Spanish. Inteligente, sensato. Okay? It also means en términos de o en cuanto a. And we'll take a look at that in a moment as well. We'll look at many of the different usages afterwards. But the first word is por qué en plural, porqués. And the second word is sabio. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. This is it for the third time.
This is a proud day. Now, when people ask if we're in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1975, I can say we are closer than ever before.
Stop making resolutions and start making progress with your English in the new year. We've got something for everyone under the sun. Every level, every age, every budget. Grupo Vaughn has got you covered no matter what you're looking for. Whether it be master's courses, group or one-to-one classes, either online or in person. Vaughntown, a true immersion experience. Disney English and Vaughn Jr. for the kids. Oxford Test of English. Camps for kids of all ages. Online courses. And a wealth of other resources at vaughntienda.com. Stop by one of our centers for a free level test or a sample class from one of our top teachers. Why wait? There's no time like the present. Start the year off on the right foot. You can contact us at our website, grupovaughn.com, or give us a call at 911-385831. And make sure you're following us on social media. Let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha.
All right, amigos. All right. Well, more information about that and all our initiatives. Don't forget our new Weekend Town, which is, again, just an awesome alternative to Vaughntown. If you don't have that time to go to Vaughntown or the financial commitment, well, this is the perfect, absolutely perfect plan for you. And you can take advantage of a special deal for this coming weekend. in NH Las Tablas. Again, more information on our website. And if you're following us on social media, then you'll see that we have shared that information. All right, let's see. We've got a lot of things to do. Let's take a look at our homophones right now. The first person to participate in the homophone section is Born to Iron Man. And Born to Iron Man, those are the correct words. So far, so good. Hasta ahora, muy bien. Daniela gives us the same words. Oh, and by the way, Born to Iron Man says they sound alike. Daniela agrees. Maria Jose gives us the correct words, and Maria Jose says they don't sound alike. Let's see, Francisco, are you Paco? Are you Paco? Well, I know a lot of Pacos, but are you Paco from class? I think so. Well, he says the words are and. And you didn't tell me if they sound the same, but he uses a great example over here. I love when we do that, when we play with words. Let's see. Chris Valrol. She says, correct. And she says, I'd say they're homophones. And Francisco says, I'd say they do not sound alike. All right, well, there's only one way to figure this out right here, folks. And this is to say the words. I'm going to say, no es sabio tener tantos porqués. Okay? It's not wise to have so many whys. It's not wise to ask so many whys. It's not wise to ask so many whys. They are homophones. Absolutely. Yes, so it's not wise, no es de sabios, to ask so many whys. Wise. The sound is wise. It rhymes with rise. It rhymes with surprise. And folks, let's take a look at our spelling bee now. But wonderful job in that section. Now, our spelling bee had to do with serial killers, asesinos de cereales. You know, I can't resist. I can't help it. Our winners in our spelling bee, Born to Iron Man, Chris Valrol, Maria Jose, Lupe, Paco. Wow. Excellent job, students. Great. All right, well, these were all serial killers. As I said, there's an FYI episode on serial killers, and it's quite interesting because I have Francisco Perez Caballero. He is one of the guys who works with Cuarto Milenio, and he's an expert criminologist. He studied so many cases, and he joins me on the pod. So it's really, really interesting because it's not just my opinion. We're talking to a professional. So if you haven't heard them, just wherever you get your podcast, search for Serial Killers FYI for your English. And the reason I chose these today is because today in the year 1992, Ted Bundy, Jeff Dahmer, I was reading the first name on the list, Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, why are those two names, why was it the first name that came to mind? Well, those in the United States, when we talk about a crazy murderer, asesino, we say Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy. Those are like the textbook references there. Oh man, this guy's like Jeffrey Dahmer, the cannibal who ate his victims. By the way, there are documentaries on all of these, documentaries and docuseries. A documentary is, more a telling of the tale, but a docuseries is actors acting out the story, right? A documentary is more interviews with people and things like that. It's more narrated. And the reason I chose these was because today in 1992, serial killer, one of the most prolific serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer, was sentenced in Milwaukee. He was sentenced to 15 terms of life in prison. You say cadena perpetua. Again, when we think of insane fiends, locos, the craziest, most sadistic human you can think of, we use Jeffrey Dahmer as a comparison. Another one we use is Ted Bundy, another great documentary. So many documentaries on these people. Now, what made Ted Bundy, what made him such an interesting character was, well, how long he was able to evade police, but also his charisma. You can watch videos of this guy, and he is, I mean, even me, I was spellbound watching him. So I can imagine how he lured, atrayó, ¿no? Como depredador. He lured the women into his home or his van, and then he obviously brutally murdered them. And he was played by, just to show you like what a Don Juan he was played by Zac Efron in the movie. O como dice mi mujer, Zac Efron. Zac Efron. Zac Efron. Oh, my God. So Ted Bundy. Yeah, another, oh, man. I'm not even going to look at the number because it's bone-chilling. But just know that the same way Jeffrey Dahmer was weird and uncomfortable and he didn't know how to act in social situations, Ted Bundy knew exactly what to do and exactly what to say. That's scary. I think he's scared. Even though they're both totally crazy and out of their mind, I'm scared with the Ted Bundy ones, the ones who are so convincing. They end up being like cult leaders or something down in the Andes, where we're going to our next one. The monster of the Andes Mountains, as you guys know, Pedro Alonso Lopez. I prefer to call him Pedro Lopez for obvious reasons. No one wants to be associated to a serial killer, a child, I don't even want to say it, it's disgusting, and a fugitive who murdered, are you ready for this? A minimum of 110 people. He claims to have murdered 300 because for him it's a game. But he is one of the most prolific serial killers and rapists in history, and he was born in Colombia. The next one is H.H. Holmes. I wasn't familiar with H.H. Holmes. The same way every American knows who Ted Bundy is and Jeffrey Dahmer, this one I wasn't familiar with. But this guy, Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, H.H. Holmes, was a con artist, un timador, a con artist and a serial killer who was active between 1891 and 1894. And he was infamous for committing crimes during the World Columbian Exposition. This was like the World's Fair, La Expo, in Chicago. And let me just give you his rap sheet here. His rap sheet, sus antecedentes, okay? Con artist, this is his resume, su curriculum. Con artist, timador, serial killer. He also dabbled, jugueteó, in insurance fraud, fraude de seguros, insurance fraud, forgery. Forgery is signing your name as if you were somebody else. It's otro tipo de fraude. Swindling, to swindle. ¿Cómo se dice en español? It's another way of saying steal. Swindle, timar, estafar, engañar. So swindling. What else? He's got quite a nice resume here, this guy. 3 to 4 bigamous illegal marriages. So he was quite a player, too. This one's crazy. Horse theft, robo de caballos, and, of course, murder, right? And he was hanged on May 7th, 1896. H.H. Holmes. The next one I think many people know as well, because this one, man, this one is just another one that just makes your stomach turn. And this guy was the famous serial killer John Wayne Gacy. And he dressed up as a clown. In fact, many people to this day are afraid of clowns because of this image of this guy. going to little boys' birthday parties and things. And yeah, he was a clown. He was really a clown. But he led a double life. And he would rape and torture his victims. He would strangle them, asphyxiate them. 26 of his victims were buried under his home. That's pretty crazy. Sleeping on that every night, you know? And what else? What else can we say about this guy? He was executed by lethal injection at Stateville Correctional Center. This was in May 10th, 1994. John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown. The next one I'm not too familiar with. So this one we're going to learn a little bit about too. So as again, I searched for most prolific serial killers and these names came up. So this guy, Harold Shipman, he was a general practitioner, doctor. Oh, how nice. And serial killer. An estimated 250 victims. Whoa. 250 victims. And he was found guilty of murdering patients that were under his care. That's the part that's absolutely crazy. You know, you're going to a trusted professional, supposedly, and they're killing you. They're murdering you. And he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Parole, se escribe parole. Parole means libertad condicional. So if you're good, maybe you can make parole after 5 years. But if the judge deems parole something that's not part of your sentence, they'll say without parole. And that means it doesn't matter how good you are. You're staying. You're going to rot, como decimos en inglés. You're going to rot behind bars. And they also nicknamed this guy Dr. Death, or the Angel of Death. He's a British man, and he supposedly committed suicide by hanging. So Harold Shipman, he hung himself in prison. And again, this is one I haven't heard too much about, but I'm sure you can find documentaries and information about these people. And the last one I think is probably the most famous one, the one that's been portrayed in pop culture. I mean, when we think of serial killers, we think of this guy. You call him El Destripador. We call him Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper. And he was an unidentified serial killer. And he was active in the Whitechapel district of London. They also called him AKA. He was also known as the Whitechapel Murderer, or the Leather Apron. That's a good word to know. The word apron, apron, se escribe. The word apron is delantal, I believe, in Spanish. Apron, delantal, possibly. All right, amigos, so there you go. If you want to learn more, of course, there are tons of great documentaries, and you can learn a lot of great vocabulary from these court cases. You know, I even myself, I was talking to a student this morning. When I watched, what's it called? House of Cards, que es Castillo de Naipes. When I watched that, I learned English. All right, obviously, I already know English, but I learned like political English, words I didn't know. I'm like, now what is, like he said the word whip. A whip is algún representante, you know, it's a position in Washington. But a whip is really un látigo, like for normal people. Or it's another way of calling a car, right? A very like slang way. Oh, nice whip. Whip is a car as well. But I never heard of it in the political context. So there's always something to be learned, amigos, here on the show with no name or anywhere. Watching documentaries, docuseries, movies, or anything like that. All right, well, folks, we've got to go to a commercial break. But before our commercial break, let's take a look at today's Double Trouble. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double
double, double trouble. Double, double trouble. I said double, double trouble.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Double Trouble, only on the show with no name. And let's take a look at today's Double Trouble. Oh, man. Oh, wow. All right. Hey, my reaction is honest. This is not going to be easy. Doable, yes. Claro, que es posible. But, oh, man, a veces es una expresión y un uso literal, right? O dos diferentes usos de una palabra. Today, it's two expressions. So don't think literal at all today in our Double Trouble, because it's just going to throw you off. Te va a desconcertar. So think expression. It's the most I can do to help you. Good luck. The first part is no tengo interés. Okay, no pierdo nada. Right? No tengo, esto se puede usar in the business context easily. No tengo interés, Andrés. No pierdo nada, ¿no? Lo que viene lo mismo. Así que no es asunto mío. Así que no es asunto mío. So the expressions we're looking for is no tengo interés o no pierdo nada en eso. And the second part is no es asunto mío. And if we put it all together, then we've got no tengo interés, no pierdo nada, así que no es asunto mío. You guys will get double, triple points today if you get it, because it is pretty tough. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at Name That Movie. We didn't have time for it, so we'll try and squeeze it in there. Really funny movie today. Also, we've got famous birthdays. We've got to hear our Say What soundbite again. Nobody's gotten it yet. Oh, man. Name That Lyric. What a beautiful song. And I was just listening to it before the show. As many of you know, one of my rituals is I listen to the Name That Lyric as I'm getting ready, just to get myself in the mindset and get ready to rock. I know you guys are ready to rock. I can tell just by all the participation today. Thank you, folks. Again, I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. No, es un poco vulgar. No estoy haciendo la pelota. You really are awesome students. Keep up the good work. When we come back, we've got some more challenges, but you're going to have a couple minutes now to really think that Double Trouble through. No tengo interés, no pierdo nada. Así que no es asunto mío. Good luck, folks. We'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to The show with no name on Vaughn Radio. So much to do here, so little time. Don't forget to tune in to our afternoon shows. Right after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. Then you've got the lunchtime show with Rob Grams and Andy Vaughn, best buds forever. Then you've got Speak Up with Ruby. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. The Salad with Dave Boyce. Kyle Miller's Drive Time. Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank. Richard Vaughn Live. The Pro Bowl Show with Rob Grams. And right before this show, you know who you've got. The one and only Fitz and his feats. You get it? Fitz, que no son homófonos. Fitz and his feats. Sus hazañas. Well, hey, Fitz is awesome. All right, amigos, we've got a lot to cover. So we're going to kick off with today's Say What soundbite. Nobody has figured it out yet, but I have a feeling, I have a hunch that we are on the verge. Estamos en el borde. Somebody's going to get it here after our fourth listen.
This is a proud day. Now, when people ask if we're in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1975, I can say we are closer than ever before.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. That's right, folks. All the materials you might need all in one spot, and it is Vaughn Tienda, vaughantienda.com. It's a great place to pick up gifts for one of your fellow students. It's a great place. You know they're going to love it. And you've got a wide range of materials, from business English to more crazy, wacky materials such as mine. There's something for everybody. vaughantienda.com. business.com. All right, let's take a look at today's very, very, extremely challenging double trouble. All right. No tengo interés, no pierdo nada. Let's see. Paco says, I don't have any business or concern on that. Therefore, sería it's none of my business or concern. Okay. I see what you're doing, but those aren't idiomatic expressions. Good effort. Good effort. All right. I told you this was going to be tough. The first part is, I don't have any skin in the game. What? To have skin in the game. Okay? It's a business. Well, it's used in business. It can be used in any. Skin in the game. Now, let's say you guys were reading a book and you come up with this. No tengo piel en el juego. Pellejo. It means you have no personal investment in it. No vested interest. Right? A mí, yo no pierdo nada. I have no skin in the game. Toma. So to have skin in the game, tengo interés. I have no skin in the game, or I don't have any skin in the game, means no tengo interés. No invertí nada de energía, de tiempo, de dinero. Okay? No es cosa mía. No pierdo nada. I don't have skin in the game, so whatever. So, the second part, así que no es asunto mío. It's no skin off my back. No skin off my back. Or no skin off my nose. It's an interesting one. Okay? Really interesting one. So skin. And the expression, another one comes to mind. By the skin of your teeth. Por los pelos. You did it by the skin of your teeth. So, wow. Look at that. It's la expresión, la segunda parte. A mí me da exactamente igual. No es asunto mío. No es de mi incumbencia. Toma. It's no skin off my nose. It's no skin off my back. I imagine these are new idiomatic expressions. And the first one is to have skin in the game, folks. All right. Well, we've got to move on, but that was extremely tough. We'll have a good time now. Grab your popcorn because it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. All right. It's Name That Movie here on the show with no name. And as always, going to give you a little summary, a little synopsis, and we'll see if you know the movie. I love this movie. I love this movie. Here we go. A gubernatorial candidate hires a wormy special assistant whose only job is to make sure the candidate's well-meaning but incompetent brother doesn't ruin the election. Now, I know what you're thinking. You said candidate and candidate. Well, both are acceptable. I've heard people say candidate and candidate. I say candidate just by nature, but both of them, Kyle Miller, for example, he says candidate. You're a good candidate. And I would say you're a good candidate. Just so you know, you'll hear both. And that's why I gave you both there. So a gubernatorial candidate hires, to hire is contratar, a wormy special assistant. And the word wormy, well, a worm is un gusano, un lombriz, but wormy, que se mueve mucho. A wormy person is somebody who's inquieto, I would say, right? A little bit wormy. And careful with that word. Warm, tibio, calentito, warm. Worm, gusano, lombriz. So let's say this one. It's a warm worm. Es una lombriz calentita. It's a warm worm. So a gubernatorial candidate hires a wormy special assistant whose only job is to make sure the candidate's well-meaning but incompetent, o sea, tiene buenas intenciones. His well-meaning but incompetent brother doesn't ruin the election. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Chris Valrol. Nice job, Chris Valrol. Excellent job there. I can't believe you really do know your movies through and through. Totalmente. Through and through. All right, let's take a look here at this scene that I've chosen for you. But this is a movie starring Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley. Well, he died many years ago, but Chris Farley. It also stars David Spade. David Spade and Chris Farley, two really awesome actors. Well, they're not the greatest actors, comic actors, I'll say that. And it came out in 1996. And these guys, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. They have the best, worst chemistry ever. Eso es la mejor forma de ponerlo. Tienen la mejor mala química de toda la historia. They have the best work. I mean, that's the whole idea. They're not supposed to get along. Se supone que no se llevan bien, right, at all. And it seems real. And they work together on Saturday Night Live. They were part of the bad boys of Saturday Night Live with Adam Sandler. Black Sheep. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty funny. Just remember, too, the word sheep, el plural, one sheep, two sheep. O sea, no coge ese. And here we go. Here's Mike phoning citizens, llamando a la gente, in an attempt to secure votes. And he says, "Hi there. This is Mike Donnelly. Hola, soy Mike Donnelly. I work over here at the recreational center. Trabajo aquí en el centro recreativo, ¿no? Un poco where there's basketball, there's different things. To be honest with you," vamos a pronunciar esa palabra honest, no honest, honest. Ah. To be honest with you, I pretty much run the place. Pues yo lo llevo todo, ¿no? Básicamente. Ah, is this Pat Giles? ¿Es este Pat Giles? Good, good. Hey, hope everything's going great in your fine town of Avery? Edward? He doesn't have his information. He didn't do his homework. And he goes, "Say, the reason I'm calling is I wanted to tell you a little bit about the candidacy, el candidato, of Al Donnelly. Al Donnelly's a guy with a dream. And his dream is to become governor of this great state of Washington. Hell, every guy's got a dream. Am I right? I mean, between you, me, and the wall here, I had a doozy myself last night. A doozy. We've looked at that word. Oh, man, that was a doozy. A doozy. Una con truco, uno difícil. A doozy. How do they... Oh, ahora no lo enseñan aquí. A doozy, really? ¿No tenéis doozy? Word reference. ¿Para qué me vales? A doozy. Something that's unique. Una para... No, una especial, let's say. Y se puede tener la connotación de, chungo también. So, doozy. Yeah, thanks, word reference. Really good. D-O-O-Z-Y. I had a doozy myself last night. And he keeps doing that nervous laugh. That's obviously, if you're in sales, you don't want to have that nervous laugh. It means you're nervous, right? And he goes, get this. A ver si pillas esto. A corn-fed harvest mouse, o sea, un ratón de la cosecha que se alimenta de maíz. A hooker, una prostituta. A nun, una monja. He starts telling a joke. A Flemish peasant woman, una mujer flamenca, campesina. Whips, lácticos, we looked at that word before. Chains, unas cadenas. Whistles, yo-yos, and a circus midget. Oh, no. He's just gone off the deep end. He says, my grandmother riding by on a bicycle gives me the finger and a duck. He goes, I don't know. He goes, are you crying? Oh, my Lord. I'm sorry. Please don't. Could you get your daddy on the phone? So he was talking to the person's child, telling some dirty jokes and being inappropriate. But I think that's the character Chris Farley was born to play. All right, folks, we've got to celebrate right now in famous birthday trivia. All right, amigos, welcome to the famous birthday section over here. We'll see who's celebrating a birthday today. By the way, great job so far, folks. Keep up the great work. All right, number one, this person was born in 1976 today. Born in 1976, and he is an American singer and songwriter. He's best known as the lead vocalist of the band Incubus. Do you like this band? I love Incubus. I got to say, I grew up listening to Incubus, and they're just great, man. They have so many good songs. I don't even know which album to recommend to you. Do this. In that case, go to Spotify. If you're not fans already, go to Spotify or go to YouTube and then put, Incubus greatest hits, and hopefully you'll be able to find them. They've got ballads such as I Miss You. I miss you. And then they've got Pardon Me While I Burst Into a Flame. I've had enough of the world. I love this band. I got to say, I really love Incubus. And even after many, many years where I haven't really listened to them, every time I hear an Incubus song, especially one from back in the day, something happens inside me. So I love that band. Definitely something special. Also, another thing that reminds me of that time, or I should say another person, was this next birthday boy who was a comedian. He was an actor, and he was in Saturday Night Live. He, really big guy, big guy, obese. But that was part of the characters he played. Clumsy, obese, inadequate, out of line. And he was in movies such as Airheads, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, which was today's Name That movie, so I said his name. He was also in Beverly Hills Ninja and Almost Heroes. But he obviously struggled with consumption of food, drugs. I mean, because he was obese. He also abused a lot of substances, and he died of an overdose of what's known as a speedball. And a speedball is when you mix cocaine and morphine. So this guy meant business, and, well, it took his life. It was crazy because he just, for being a big, guy, he had, double the energy as the young guys. So, I guess now we know why. He was probably speedballing or doing some lines of coke before he went on stage for Saturday Night Live or for any of his programs. But if you watch the guy work, there's nobody like him. Last but not least, a genius, or many would say even a fortune teller. Uno que predice el futuro, the creator of The Simpsons, my amigos. And you knew today's show had something to do with The Simpsons. Well, this is the animator, producer, screenwriter who put his initials in Homer's head, MG. If you haven't heard the FYI episode on The Simpsons, give it a listen. Also, looks like we've got a winner, Chris Valrol. Wonderful. Also, she took a stab at the Say What soundbite. Excellent job. Really, all of you. Great job. And this is going to bring us over to today's Say What soundbite. And this is from The Simpsons. It's Principal Skinner, El Director Skinner. So you guys said a politician, same idea there. Hello, kids, welcome to he's, Principal Skinner. We looked at Jack the Ripper, Destripador, right? To skin es quitar la piel también. Skinner, it's an appropriate name. And we looked at some idiomatic expressions today that have to do with skin, right? So it's no skin off my back or my nose, que es, a mí no me importa nada. Y no tengo nada en juego is I don't have any skin in the game. So we looked at a lot of stuff with skin today. Here's Principal Skinner. He's giving a speech at an asamblea, we say the same thing. And he says, this is a proud day, un día de orgullo. Now, when people ask if we are in compliance, si cumplimos, with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1975, I can say we are closer than ever before. Here he is from The Simpsons, Principal Skinner.
This is a proud day. Now, when people ask if we're in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1975, I can say we are closer than ever before.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job today, amigos. Wonderful job. Awesome, 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 awesome. Excellent, excellent stuff, folks. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for spreading the word. And thank you for sticking around, not just between the commercial breaks here, but also sticking around to hear from all my amigos up next, such as Ximena Holiday. And I can't wait. Her trivia night with Nacho, it's going to be a blast. If you can make it, make arrangements to get to Madrid. We'd love to see you, and I'm hoping I can make it. I couldn't make it to the last one. Something came up at the last minute, but you guys killed it today. To quote Rob Grams, and since we're talking about serial killers, you killed it. All right, let's take a look at today's Name That Lyric, where we learn English with music. Today, we've got a song from Incubus, and it's called I Miss You. It is a beautiful song, and it's a song, Laura, for example, she's not with us today, but it's a perfect song that you can send to your husband when you're missing him because you said he was far away from you on Valentine's Day. So it's a perfect song. It's kind of like the 2000s version of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, although... Wait a second. Incubus has a song called Wish You Were Here as well. But this isn't Wish You Were Here. This was I Miss You. It's a ballad. It's a rock ballad, and it's awesome. So let's take a look at the lyrics, and then we can sing it together. To see you when I wake up. Verte cuando me despierto is a gift I didn't think could be real. Es un regalo que yo nunca jamás pensé podría ser verdadero. To know that you feel the same as I do, saber que te sientes igual que yo, is a threefold utopian dream. And threefold is multiplicado por tres. Un sueño utopio multiplicado por tres. You do something to me that I can't explain. So would I be out of line, estaría fuera de lugar, if I said, I miss you? So here it is, folks. It's Incubus, and it's a beautiful song. Sing it with me. We'll be back tomorrow with more, I promise.